There's something about being close to the earth. Listen to the crows. Listen to the little warbler. Feel the breeze and feel good. People are just realizing that they need to trust the food and the growers. I just think we have to be sensible and know that local people can do it in their backyard.
Not only is it important to buy foods locally to avoid all those transportation issues, food traveling 2,000, 3,000 miles, but also it needs to be grown in a sustainable fashion. So not only do we need to be raising it locally, but we need to be using organic methods. Here in our yard, I mean, we have a very low-till kind of operation here. We compost everything, everything's raised organically and obviously close to home.
What it means to produce food without petroleum-based fertilizers, herbicides, pesticides, that's still not known much in this country. When you harvest the day before a market, it's guaranteed to be super fresh. Some of the markets that we do in DC are fresh farm markets. They're producer only, and that's a really good thing for small farmers and people shopping at the markets, because they know when they get the food from the farmer that it's grown by that farmer, and that farmer can tell them anything they need to know about their food. Food that travels across country really can't compete with that for freshness or taste.
We've started calling it your food print, which has to do with this broader picture of encompassing the ideas of transportation, so the miles that your food is actually coming to reach your plate, but also looking at all of the other emissions that are involved in food systems.
But when we say buying locally, the only one of those we're really saving is the transportation from the producer to the retailer. That's not stopping all those other transportations in between. The only one that we're able to have any control over when we buy locally is just the transportation from producer to retailer.
In this culture of convenience, we certainly do want one answer that's going to solve a lot of these crises that we've found ourselves in. Is there just one thing that you can do to reduce your food print?
By transitioning to a vegan diet, we could save over 2 tons of CO2 a year, whereas by eating entirely locally, we could save like 0.1 of a ton of CO2 a year.
To balance it out, what makes the most sense if you were just to do one thing? Would it be to cut down on meat, or would it be to just eat organic? I don't think there is just one thing that you can do, but I certainly would put organic right there and at the top of the list. Really, when you support local foods, you're supporting rural economies, you're supporting small-scale farmers.
With what we're doing here, Mike gets to keep the whole dollar. He spends it here, and then that person will spend it here in the community, and it keeps money circulating in your own communities. Small, diversified farms like this are actually much more productive. I mean, you don't use near the amount of petroleum. And humans are much more efficient than tractors when you think in terms of what it takes to run a tractor and what it takes to run a human. I think we really need kind of like a change of consciousness, valuing what we're putting in our body and realizing that it's pretty much the most important thing that we do, really.
You need to know that land is healthy, and you have to know it's pure food. You just have to eat good food and feel good.